Welcome back to the second instalment of Outspoken Mysteries with Richard and Paul.
Hello.
Hiya!
I like that's your call sign. Hiya!
Hiya, Yaris! Yes, and this one we're going to talk about all things alien.
Yeah.
Now, Paul's been away, he's been looking at the internet and he's been deciding what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to hand the next bit over to Paul and he can describe all things alienish. I've just made a new word up.
Alienish. Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows what aliens are. They're not just people who come over on boats. They're the aliens from the sky, or in some cases, apparently the sea.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've looked at the wrong things then for my research.
You've looked up aliens from other countries, haven't
Yeah.
you? No, well, yeah, just obviously, again, like the first episode, we want to have a conversation. It's, do aliens exist? If they do, give me some information on that, back that up with facts, or what do you think on the matter? So, I mean, it's all things alien. It's not necessarily one alien story. It's not necessarily different things. Well, it is different things. I'm losing what I'm saying. Anyway, so yeah.
So we're talking about aliens.
Yes.
And are we looking at different situations, different scenarios? Are we just going to look at, could that be an alien? If it is an alien, why is that an alien?
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically, like we did in the last episode, we picked a subject, and then we'll have a look on the internet, and then people have their theories of if there's aliens, like Margaret Thatcher being an alien.
To be honest, my personal opinion, who would want to possess that if you're an alien? Henny, get out that skin and give it to somebody else.
Yeah. So it's not just one thing in particular, it's all things alien. So, I'm a skeptic, but I would like to think that we're not the only people in this universe. I was going to say on this planet. I hope we're the only things on this planet.
Sometimes I feel like
well,
in my little world.
Yeah, walking through Wall's End, there's some aliens. But yeah. But, I mean, I think, there's vast galaxies that we haven't even explored, and I don't think we're the only ones lucky enough to be alive. But I don't necessarily believe half of the BS that comes out of people's mouths. Now, to me, if someone with some credibility came forward and said, oh, well, aliens are real, I saw this, but 95% of the time it's some slack-jawed Cletus with only 3 teeth in his mouth saying, oh, well, yeah, I believe in aliens, they took Martha in their craft and stuff. It never seems to be someone with a bit of sense around them. It's always a hillbilly.
At this point in this conversation, I don't know if I just want to slap him and hide him in a cupboard somewhere. Because I don't know what that accent was, but it just made me feel, what's going on here?
Well, so yeah, that's what I'd like to talk about. If aliens are real, do you have?
Let's look at that then. Let's go with the very first thought: are aliens real? So, when I got my head around what alien we were talking about and what invasion we were looking at.
Invasion? Do you know something I don't?
Well, according to the internet, it's happening today.
Oh, well.
According to the internet, all the government bodies, including Her Majesty the Queen, she's something to do with an alien species that looks like a 3.5 metre tall, walking, talking reptile.
Right.
Now, I've seen this image before. I'm sure it was in a Doctor Who episode in the 80s, mind. And what worries me is some people have too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
Some people, in my opinion, need to find themselves either a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and lock themselves in a room and do what nature wants you to do.
Yeah.
Not sit and engineer videos upon rubbish, upon... Well, it is. It is.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Upon this, yes, there's always a core. There's always an element of truth with what people are saying. So this takes me back to 1942. Now, I wasn't physically here in 1942, so it's not my memories.
Right,
But in 1942, one of the very first invasions they're claiming happened over LA, and it happened with a UFO craft. And apparently this UFO craft was the very first photographic evidence of aliens. Now when they said that on the tagline, I thought, hang on a minute, Did they not claim in I can't say this one, Mesopotamia times?
You've got me there.
I've said that wrong. Ancient Egypt.
Right. Is it not Mesopotamia?
That's the one.
Yeah.
I was close. Maybe it was a bit of a mess for them back then.
Yeah.
But them times, they claim that though they seen spacemen wearing spacesuits and they drew them on the walls.
Right.
So who has the first sighting of aliens? That questioned me straight away.
Yeah.
Then they claim that in 1942 above LA, why LA? Why LA in the world? Why did they want to go to America? Why couldn't they have gone to China? Why couldn't they have gone somewhere else? But they claim that this UFO, this alien, came down to visit.
Right.
And they shone bright lights on it. They tried to shoot it with tanks and weaponry. Bear in mind, the tanks and weaponry we had in 1942, you'd be lucky to hit a target, never mind penetrate a target.
Right.
So they claimed that they couldn't bring this UFO down and it flew off.
Right.
Then the government decided we need to create a UFO investigation.
Right, okay.
So now we're looking at are aliens real? Now we're looking at a sighting of a potential alien aircraft. Then the American government claims that, oh no, it was a weather balloon. They shot it down. Oh no, it was Chinese lanterns after a celebration. They shot them down.
Right.
Eyewitnesses in 1942 described it, and over 300 residents from 300 different locations around LA described everything exactly.
Right.
They saw.
Okay.
So the government allegedly then decided that we've got to cover this up. And then they decided to hush it up and say this is crazy. But 5 years later, 1942, there is a crash that happens over the Roswell estate.
Yeah.
And we enter the twilight zone of the government's covering this up.
Yeah.
A farmer that I think you were doing an impersonation of back then, he claims he found aluminum foil, which is tin foil for us in the northeast of England. He claimed that tin foil was sprawled all across the land. Now, I come from North Shields and I see tin foil regularly. And I don't think, honestly, little green man's jumped out of a spaceship and landed in my back garden when I'm having a barbecue. So, don't be alarmed, people, if you see tin foil. Don't be alarmed, it is not some sort of cloning device or some sort of way of tapping into your brain. Although they say if you wrap it around your head, it stops people from reading your mind. But I've never met a mind reader yet.
Right.
You can apparently take tin foil, wrap it around your head, point it in a cone. 1, you will look a bit silly. 2, you may get cut off the sharp edges. And 3, if again you've got too much time to wrap yourself in tin foil, go for a walk.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie, I've never tried the tinfoil hat thing, and, obviously don't if you want to cut yourself, then fine.
It's fact, that's fact,
yeah.
Tinfoil's fact, because it was on a film that Mel Gibson was in, and he sat in a cupboard with tinfoil on his head, so it must be true.
The Signs, so it must be, because I heard that was a documentary.
I didn't actually want to plug that film, because we're not going to get any shares of it. But,
yeah, that's true.
But, allegedly, if Mel Gibson can put himself with tinfoil in his head and look like a twat, well, it must be real.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, obviously, you've got Roswell. I mean, that's like the biggest story out there. And then you've got, their little stories. And I mean, I can't, name them all offhand. But there was, there's been accounts of people seeing aliens and then people turning up at that door like the Men in Black. I mean, not Will Smith, because, he probably wasn't born then. But, these people knocked on your door saying, what you've saw, forget it. And, there's that. There's Men in Black and then there's aliens. So, to me, if one's true, the other one's got to be true. Because there is documentation of...
Hang on a minute. So, you're basing your findings for our show today on the idea of Men in Black possibly being elements of truth there.
Yeah.
So we are some sort of species living in a locker in some dirty gymnasium.
No.
Is that where you're going with this?
No.
Because I don't like the idea of being trapped in a cupboard somewhere.
No. I'm not one of these strange people who wears a tinfoil hat. Okay. I just think because, there's been people who have spoke about these Men in Black, and then there's been pictures of Men in Black, if you will. So, if the Men in Black are real, and they're telling people to stop talking about UFOs, and they're telling people to stop talking about aliens, does that not tell you that maybe there is something on the other side of the moon? Or I'm not saying lizard people, and I'm not saying the Queen, because ridiculous. They're werewolves, you know that.
Or horses, possibly, yes, but not crocodiles.
I personally think that we can't.
But I just want to say, if Her Majesty the Queen does want to take part in our show and come on and disprove any of this, feel free to. And as you can hear in the background, my phone's going off, and it is Her Majesty the Queen as we speak, and she's telling me it's off with my head, apparently.
Yeah, well, there you go. That could have been a Men in Black. You don't know.
It could have been
we said Men in Black.
Our studio.
Yeah, well, that's it. So, yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I mean, throughout life, you've got, even the Mesopotamia or whatever it's called, you've got these drawings, you've got these pictures, you've got people drawn or describing these alien spaceships. And now there's this theory that we didn't go to Mars and it was all staged and blah 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 blah. But to think that we're the only people on this planet.
Hang on. We didn't go to Mars. We haven't been to Mars yet.
Not Mars, the moon.
The moon.
Yeah,
Apparently we've been to the moon. And
not Mars. I apologise.
In Hawaii on the beach, apparently, at night.
Yeah, well,
but
exactly.
As far as I know, I can't recall we're going to Mars yet.
Well,
I know they've sent things out there at the minute, and I think I got lost.
Yeah.
But we haven't, just to clarify that.
Well,
is it Mars or moon?
The moon. Yeah.
The moon.
Sorry, yeah, well...
The moon. Conspiracy theory of the moon.
Yeah.
Not Mars.
Not
Mars may be a desert country somewhere else that they will explore, but currently it's the moon.
Yes, the moon. Sorry, my apologies, the moon. I mean, I did get Hermione's clock and go to the future and then find out about Mars, but...
And if you missed the first episode, it's worth downloading, because we did talk about the Invincible and the Invisible Pope scenario.
That's correct. Yes. So, yes, I stand corrected. It's not Mars, it's the moon. You know, there's a lot of people saying, well, we didn't go to the moon. Oh, and there's a lot of people saying we went to the moon, but we found skeletons of aliens and we've hid them. So, again, it's like the Elisa Lam story. The internet is full of crazy people. And you've got to take some information and dissect it yourself and think, well, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? So for me, I'm not going to say 100% I believe in aliens, but I am going to say that something is going on somewhere, because these Men in Black people, they do exist. I've seen documentaries of someone being told to get away from Area 51, and these men were Men in Black. Now, I'm not saying they are Men in Black, like they've got these mind wipe machines from the films. Tommy Lee Jones isn't going to come up and call you Skip or whatever in the films. But there is definitely some organisation out there that is preventing people from talking about these things. There's documents that have been scrubbed and taken away and burned and mysteriously lost when you look into Roswell and when you look into other cases of aliens or alien abduction or UFOs. There's documents that there's pages missing now. There's documents that have been in a mysterious fire.
But in fairness with that, we're talking about 1940s, 1950s, where you had to rely on somebody taking a piece of paper and putting it into a journal and then logging it into something else and then filing it into a metal cabinet.
Yeah.
I know people are listening to this probably think, what, Stone Age? But they did.
Yeah.
They used to write things on paper and they never backed nothing up.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. So it would be quite easy for a bit of paper to blow out of an open window. It would be quite easy for the receptionist or whoever's writing the note, the secretary, to drop it in the dustbin. So that could just be, I don't know what words to use, but common sense, or somebody who should have been sacked that wasn't very good doing the job.
So lack of common sense.
Lack of common sense and lack of due diligence could be there.
Yeah.
But when I looked online about aliens, they talk about different descriptions. Yes, we've talked about these lizard people. Yes, we've talked about the little green men. But they all seem to have very, very similar look about them.
Yeah.
They've got the big eyes. They've got the larger skull area where the brain, I presume, is hiding.
Yeah.
They're very slender, little pot bellies, and long fingers. Now, I was questioning, why do they have long fingers? And I was thinking, I know this. I know why this is. Because they're sitting back in their mothership. with their feet up. Now you can't. Motherships are tiny little saucers, aren't they? So the aliens have to be tiny little things, and they're sitting there with their long fingers, and it's so they don't get repetitive strain injury on the neck and their shoulders. Their long fingers can touch the buttons very effortlessly.
Right. Okay.
That was my first thought. Then I was thinking, they have big black eyes. Not because they've been attacked because they're from no shields or from wherever, but they have big black eyes because, like all animals that live in the dark, they can't see very well.
Right.
So nocturnal animals have big black eyes, apparently. But then I saw a fox that was squashed on the end of the road, and that didn't have big black eyes. It had normal eyes. So that seemed to poo-poo my little idea of they need massive eyes to see in space.
Right. Well... I'm speechless.
Well, I know, but we're looking at aliens.
Yeah.
We are looking at, does alien exist? Nobody's come up to me and said, Richard, I'm an alien. In fairness, people have come up to me many times and said they think I am, and possibly I could be, but currently I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless the men in black continuously come to my house, knock on the door and wipe my brain. I have no acknowledgement or recollection of this.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing. I do personally think it would be a nice idea that yes, we do have a big brother. We do have some sort of alien creature that can come down and give us help. When you look at it logically, where do we get lasers from? Where did we get tinfoil from? Where did we get all the different types of technology we have? Has this been taken from an aircraft that's fallen from the skies? Has this technology been handed to us almost like a trade treaty? We won't blow your earth up. You give us weapons or nuclear waste and we will give you
butts to probe.
Yeah. Or invincibility cloaks.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So when we look at it logically, and the internet is a minefield of this.
There's no logic on the internet.
Oh, I looked at it and I got some dates and I scribbled them down, and Area 51 was opened in 1955. But why was it opened in 1955 when they claim it should have been opened in 1957? But the first sightings in America was 1942, so it all seems to clash. It seems to be they allegedly have 9 spaceships in Area 55, and it's supposed
51.
to 51. No, 55.
Oh, it's 55, right?
It's 55
right.
there too.
Right.
It's 1 to
that's
60.
Why.
It's
right.
51 up to 60.
So that's why we can't find the aliens there, because they're in Area 55.
That's right.
Right.
Everyone's looking at Area 51.
Clever.
Area 51 is supposed to be 30 to 40 stories below ground level.
Right.
Now, I don't know how big that would be or how deep that would be, but that makes me think, are they not chipping into like the core of this planet?
Yeah.
Are they not digging through fossils and
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the more you listen and the more you look at this and the more you listen to eyewitnesses. There's one eyewitness in 2013 dying of cancer. He was given the authority to speak to the world press about aliens. And he had photographs of these aliens, and you can see them when we upload this show. And they look like the little green man. And then this poor little creature, if it is real, is lying on this bed with burn marks to its face. But question, why is its face cracked? If it has flesh or if it's made of rubber, surely his face wouldn't be cracked as if it was porcelain. So this makes me think that's a cast.
Yeah.
That's not actually a live cadabra. Well, it's not alive, it's a cadabra, but a real cadabra. So I was thinking to myself, if they've gone, and I watched Ant and Dec, mind, and they recreated this full conspiracy theory about the aliens.
I like that film.
I did. I thought it was good. I know Ant and Dec didn't.
Yeah, nobody else did.
Well, I did. I thought it was. Hey,
yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
If they can recreate an alien, well, who else can?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's, for every person who may have really seen an alien spaceship or an alien, there's another 30 people who will just make it up. And you've got these real people, if they've seen a spaceship, telling the truth and, you know, they've been abducted or whatever. I mean, there was the Hill family. There was Barney and Betty Hill. They allegedly got abducted by aliens. And these were just normal people, everyday life. They weren't hill folk or whatever you want to call the people, the uneducated ones.
I don't want people to think that we are targeting people in the community, mate. So if you do come from the hills and concert, that's absolutely fine. You will not get beamed up by aliens. But
no,
in history, it all seems to be focused around the gentler type of personality, people who are easily confused, or people who are possibly, what's the word? Backward? Possibly?
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, that's a problem in itself. Is because, like, Barney and Betty Hill, they claimed to have abducted, and these, as far as the reports say, they were normal people that had government jobs, they were well liked, and they claimed to have been abducted. Then you've got the 30 other people saying, well, I got abducted too, they stuck a rod up me button. I mean, I don't know why aliens are probing anyone. What can they learn from sticking something up someone's bum? Let's be honest. Shit stinks.
Well, I can't even think of an explanation, any of that, other than bizarre.
Yeah.
Maybe it's revenge. Maybe it's one of their creatures did come down in the 40s.
It's what Roger did.
Yeah, and maybe we actually stuck something in it.
Yeah.
And then they thought, this is revenge.
Yeah.
We'll capture innocent hill folk and we will bugger them.
Yeah. So
scientifically bugger them.
Yeah.
Not sexually bugger, but scientifically bugger them.
Well, hold on.
But then they do claim that aliens have been impregnating women.
Yeah, they? I was going to say that there's a lot of the hill folk, again, claim to have had, and I keep saying the hill folk, I don't know what you, clumpets. A lot of uneducated people, sorry.
Well, because you live in the hills, why are you uneducated?
No.
Why are you saying to our listeners that these people are uneducated?
No, the people listening are educated because they can work the internet.
Yes.
I'm talking about the people who've still got straw hats and corn in their mouth, who have got 3 teeth and have married one of their cousins.
Well, hang on, I like Dolly Parton, and apparently she has family like that.
Well,
and they're educated, she pays for them.
Right, okay, so yes, fair enough, they're educated. Let's just move on. Let's move on.
Yes, but I understand where you're going with this, because there is a lot of people on the internet that, through some sort of influence, being psychosis, drink, drugs, or delusions because they're tired, they have claimed that they have seen things.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that the aliens, if we want to call them extraterrestrial beings, we know that they are frequenting woods. They are going down and looking at why people in cars dogging in woodland. That to me just doesn't ring true.
No.
There was one story that I seen on the internet that this couple, they'd gone for a drive. They ended up going to the edge of this Roslyn area, nowhere near 51, and they then were approached by a blacked out vehicle. A guy with sunglasses on climbed out the car, threatened to shoot them if they didn't go away.
Yeah.
Yes, I can understand that. In this country we call them police. Why are we calling them men in black in America? I don't know. Is this all to do with some sort of cover-up, or is this just racism? Because when I was reading some of the reports, it's all happened to white people.
Yeah.
Nobody has claimed from ethnic groups or ethnic religious groups that this has happened to them. And I'm thinking, why is it just focusing on the hill folk? Why is it just the people who are farmers and the layperson claiming they're seeing things? That doesn't ring true to me. Then all of a sudden, this individual has no internet, has no telephone at home, but is all over the news.
Yeah, exactly.
So is this propaganda? Is this their way of saying, we're struggling as farmers, we have no money, I can't claim anything other than an alien came down and impregnated me? Look at that story about Michael Jackson's ghost raping somebody years ago, just after he'd passed.
Yeah.
This lady claimed that she was pregnant with Michael Jackson, and the spirit of Michael Jackson impregnated her.
Right.
After she gave birth to it, it was proven that it was her husband's child. And it's like, why do people make these stories up?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, people like to listen to weird stuff because obviously the world's full of weird things.
I know online there is talks of aliens, and they claim that if you see a floating disc in the sky, this could be an alien spaceship. But yes, it could be. It also could be many other things.
Yeah.
It could be an asteroid. It could be a weather station passing by.
Yeah.
It could also be a plane. It could also be, sadly, we live in a day and age of drones.
Yeah.
It could also be a balloon, Chinese lantern, festival lanterns. It could be a reflection of the moon in the sea, projected on clouds.
Yeah.
They are out there also. But they claim that the things that I'm more intrigued about with these aliens are these visitors from the other world. They are claiming that they are coming down and they're communicating with children.
Yeah.
We can't get away from what we have seen, carvings on the walls.
Yeah.
You can't get away from hieroglyphics, and these hieroglyphics have spelled out men in spacesuits, worshipping gods from another planet, worshipping some sort of celestial being coming down. Is this Jesus Christ or Buddha, or is this a little man in a shiny tinfoil suit? We'll never know. But there is a lot of thoughts out there. But I think we live in a day and age at the moment where people need or want the idea of grasping of some sort of reality. This world we live in at the moment is going to hell. It's not because the devil's going to possess it. It's all because we are fighting amongst ourselves. We don't have enough money. And I think back in 1940s, they didn't have enough money then. You don't hear as many sightings of aliens to this day and age as you did in the 40s, 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
You would think we would see more and more as technology happens.
Yeah.
Yes, there is alien hunters out there. And I know NASA was reported and quoting that they don't go out their way to monitor extraterrestrial beings that visit this world. That statement alone sets me thinking, we have had visits.
Yeah.
We have had people coming out and taking a look. But are they a supreme race, or are they literally the one-offs?
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, you're asking a question I don't know the answer to. That's for damn sure. But I mean, you're right in saying that a lot of the people who were targeted by aliens allegedly were white people. I mean, with the Barney and Betty Hill case, Barney was of mixed race.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, I'm not saying because he's mixed race, he's got a better story.
But that could be a bit of the conspiracy that was discussed earlier on. Is this a hate crime towards an ethnic minority?
Yeah.
I don't want to put labels on people. I don't like doing that. We are the human race. We are each as individual.
Yeah.
But sadly, we have history and text that stipulate in the 30s, the 40s and before that, some people were that bloody ignorant that they would focus their hatred towards people that they didn't like the look of. We have it today. If people wear glasses, hearing aids, we are being targeted. Not because we are aliens. But what better way to cover a crime up is by getting dressed up in some ridiculous little suit and pretending to be a being. I've seen Back to the Future. Look at Marty, pretends to be Darth Vader, turn the history clocks around. That could be going on there.
Well, then there you go again. Back to the Back to the Future. Yeah, I mean, obviously these people were respected. Barney and Betty Hill were respected government workers, and you know they were claiming they were abducted. They lost time. They were driving home. They saw a big shining light in the sky, and Barney got out of the car. And then the next thing you know, he's running back to the car and he's screaming, "They're coming to get where we need to get out of here." And then the next thing they remember is lying in bed. That the following morning is waking up from that. Now the theories are, you know, they were abducted by aliens. They were hypnotized by a well-known hypnotist, and the hypnotist said if they weren't abducted by aliens, then they both believed they were, because when they were put under, they both showed signs of fear and they both showed signs of pain. They were talking about what had happened to them on this alien spacecraft, because when they got hypnotized and put under, they could remember it. And they said that the aliens did examinations on them, and that what they did, it hurt, and they were scared. They felt fear for their lives, and they showed this in the time they were being hypnotized. So the theory is, you know, that they believe it, and that unfortunately they've both had a mental break, and they've both concocted this from God knows where, or they were abducted by aliens. Now, a lot of the reports were saying, because this was back in the 60s, that the stress of being in a mixed race relationship caused them their sanity to go. Now, I don't believe that for a second.
So there is another account
of
racism.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think basically, I don't think because they were mixed race, they would have a breakdown because of being mixed race, in a mixed race relationship, and that they would construct this alien abduction. Personally, I can't turn around and say, well, it's true or it's not true, because I wasn't there. But when you read their account, it does seem quite believable, because they're under hypnosis. And when you're under hypnosis, if someone asks you to say something, you'll say it. I've seen it on stage where, someone's turned around and says, tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. And someone said, oh, well, yeah, I slept with my wife's best mate, Linda, on stage and being hypnotized, because you're vulnerable and you tell people these things. So they both have a concrete, story. They've never shied away. They've never changed the story. It's always been the same. That night they were abducted, did experiments, and only after being hypnotized did they remember. It wasn't, well, this is my story and this is her story. It was both the same. They both got abducted. They were both tested on, and they both couldn't remember it until being hypnotized. So I mean, again, to me, that lends me to think that yes, maybe there is aliens. I don't get why in 1960s America a mixed race couple would want to draw attention to themselves, because sadly there were a lot of racist people at that time.
Still is
to this day. But why would they want that limelight? Why would they want the media on them, especially in the 1960s when racism was, prevalent? So to me, I personally think something like this did happen to them. And unfortunately, people spun it, oh, well, they're just trying to get attention to themselves because they're a mixed race couple. And obviously the racists and the bigots and what have you, they didn't want them to be true. They wanted to say, well, no, you're talking out. Yeah, you're talking out. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, to me, it does sound quite plausible that this actually happened. But again, it could just be that talking nonsense.
So when they were being checked over by this hypnotist, and you unlock these memories, was there any sort of physical evidence to substantiate their claim?
No, it was all obviously what the hypnotist said afterwards. I don't know if there was a recording or anything like that, but he did say that they both said words in a different language that isn't known to man. They both said these words, and Betty plotted a star chart that we had never seen at that time. And apparently that star chart that she described has now been found. There's stars in the sky that line up the way she drew them while being hypnotized to say this is where the aliens were. Now, apparently we found these stars in the sky, but obviously we can't get to those stars in the sky yet, if that makes sense.
Right.
So she has either pulled something from nothing and made it up and been very, very lucky, or she has been aboard an alien spacecraft and she's seen these stars, these planets, or whatever it is that she's drew.
So are these people still alive to this day?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I didn't really get that much into it. I mean, I will definitely look into it, but I think they were in their 40s in 1960, so I'm not 100% sure. But there is a book documenting all this as well. There's a book out there.
The minute people talk about books, or the minute they talk about they have this product to emphasize or to sell or to bring to the people, I start thinking instantly, it's just a marketing stunt. This is just a way of making money. And sadly, if we don't have the key witnesses' statements, or we don't have proof of what's being said, this could just be a storm in a teacup. This could just be some greedy chap wanting to make some money.
Well, yeah.
So when I went online to have a look just about, is there any eyewitnesses, I did pull up a couple of cases. Mine were focusing on the workers of Area 51. And there was one guy, he was referred to as Gerard II. Now, I don't think second is his surname. I think that was just their way of keeping him. He was an engineer, and he worked at Area 51 for 30 years. He worked with the aliens. He was he called it a rehabilitation officer, which he explained on the interview that he was given that he would go into the cells where the aliens were kept for 30 years, and he would feed them, communicate with them. He says he created a very good communication. They didn't speak verbally, they spoke through thoughts or a psychic link. That's why earlier on we made a flitting comment of if you put aluminum foil on your head, that'll stop those thoughts from penetrating you. He was speaking out on March the 5th, 2014, that he could communicate. Now, the first question that was asked to him, why are you telling us this now? You've worked with him for 30 years.
Yeah.
He says he is doing this because sadly he has cancer and he passed later that year, and he felt that the evidence he's got would help the world. He said that he had to communicate this to the world, that aliens are coming because in 2020 the world will end.
Right.
That's what he claims.
Right.
Now, he's not bothered that the world's going to end because he's got cancer, and he's now subsequently from that cancer passed.
Yeah.
He was asked in 2014 describe what the alien looked like, and he has photographic evidence of this alien, and to be honest with you, it looks a little bit like a jellyfish with painted eyes and a painted nose. Now, there is fish in the sea that are referred to as the blob man.
Right.
If you Google that, you'll see a little jellyfish that has a nose and eyes.
Yeah.
It had to be kept in water, and it had to be kept in salt water. So now I'm thinking, why is an alien from Mars or alien from the skies living in water? Because the first thing that they can't harness in the solar system is water.
Yeah.
It evaporates or it disperses. It has no gravity. It doesn't stick. So that theory in my mind seems to be a little bit bizarre.
Yeah.
So have they, as a fisherman, found some sort of bizarre creature? Because that's what he used to like to do in his spare time.
Right.
But they claimed he was an engineer. And he was the one, along with a Bob Lesser, that claimed that they worked on alien spaceships. And they had to go in and take alien spaceships apart. He was asked, what tools do you use to take them apart? Screwdrivers.
Right.
If there is aliens in this world or beyond this world looking at us, surely their technology and their spaceships would be held together with a little bit more than a posi drive.
Yeah.
So I'm starting now to think, okay. So then the interviewer had turned around and said to him, describe what the spaceship looks like.
Right.
Saucer. Now, this just doesn't add up. Aliens have been documented since the dawn of time up to this present day and possibly beyond.
Yeah.
Why are they coming to us in a flying saucer? Why can't it be a rocket? Why can't it be a light beam? Why can't it be a vapour where they beam up and beam down?
Yeah.
Because you've got to remember, if an alien is an alien and they are small little creatures that can harness lasers, surely they can harness spectrums of light. Surely they can bend energy. Surely they can ride energy. I believe that the people who claim that Area 51 is solely for the use of aliens, I believe that they should be shot dead by the Men in Black. Because the Men in Black apparently have the right to shoot people dead.
Right.
They say it's humane force, but if you're being chased by a bunch of hillbillies through the hills screaming the aliens are here and they are possessed with some sort of substance, I'm not sure how you would control that. But I'm not, and I don't want to get into the debate of, we should do this or we should do that.
Yeah.
The Men in Black are documented, as you've said. Area 51 is documented.
Yeah.
There is a section of every government working on the next weapon.
Yeah. Oh,
that next weapon, is it a laser beam? Is it ultrasound? Is it supersonic radio waves or microwave waves that are going to frazzle the minds of these aliens?
Right.
What worries me though is if we take a species that comes from another planet and lock it in a cupboard or in a room or a cell for 30 years and burn it and torture it, wherever they come from, whoever they are, they will come back and seek revenge.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because I know if I was tortured, or if one of my family was tortured to this degree, you wouldn't be happy.
You'd hop in a spaceship and yeah. I mean, to me, it sounds like he was talking to a fish and maybe he was a bit touched, this guy. I mean, obviously, like I said, for every one account, there's 30 that make you think it's ridiculous. I mean, the universe is vast, and I don't think we're lucky enough to be the only people alive. Now, to me, this Barney and Betty Hill story, they're either very good liars, and I mean very, very good, or something did happen to them. Now, I'm not going to turn around and say it did, but I am leaning towards that at the minute. Now, I saw a film a few years ago. It was called The Fourth Kind. Now, that's about abduction. And I believed it was real at the time, which it's not, unfortunately. But there is a lot of people who've documented these alien abductions, and they've gone to a psychiatrist and they've spoken to them, and they've said things that, nobody else has heard. Now, are they making them up, or is this an alien language? Now, the Barney and Betty Hill thing happened in the 60s. There's been other cases in, 1980, 1990, where they've said pretty much similar things to what Barney and Betty did. Now, is it the same aliens, or is it they've had an interest in this case? I mean, back in the 80s, we didn't have the internet, so they weren't looking it up. I mean, yeah, maybe the book was out then, I'm not 100% sure, and they've just thought, well, I want to spin this and make money on it. But to me, to have knowledge of another language, if it is real, that's quite creepy, and it lends, to the fact that aliens could actually exist.
Yes, they could actually exist. Their technology could be out there. We could be using their technology to this day.
Yeah.
We've got microwaves, we've got laser beams. Yeah, we could. But what we want to know is, why Earth?
Yeah.
Why
that's
here?
a good question. Why exactly?
Some people claim the Illuminati again
Yeah.
are direct links to this superior being,
Yeah.
and that the aliens come down and they restore peace on Earth. Now, if they're going to restore peace on Earth, surely they would be looking at terrorism. Surely they would be looking at some out there organisations that are using their strength, their money, their fear of God techniques to create devastation. Sure, they should have come back.
Yeah.
What threats were we having in the 80s? What threats were we having in the 60s? Mm-hmm. Yes, I know we've had world wars, and yes, I know we've had other types of terrorism and other types of destruction.
Yeah.
But nothing seems to make sense. There doesn't seem to be a strand of common knowledge or a strand of common evidence. It all seems to be a bit mismatched.
Yeah.
Nobody can say, well, it's this or it's that.
Yeah.
Yes, NASA has come forward and said, we see unidentified flying objects regularly in space or in our airspace around the planet and across the planet. But because it's an unidentified flying object, it doesn't mean there's a little green man sitting in it.
It could
just means there's a particle somewhere floating around, and it's been captured, it's been seen.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a chap, I can't remember his first name now, the guy who created the lesser radio. He claimed he communicated with aliens. But if you speak to the paranormal people, they claim he spoke to spiritual people too. And he created this energy radio which creates static energy.
Yeah.
And it emanates static and lightning, and between four rods in a room, and in the middle it creates an arc, and under this arc you will get projection. Projection is spirit or alien. They claimed he'd done this. But then when you look back in history, there's a very, very fine line of these people have some sort of mental health disorder.
Yeah.
These people have some sort of disability, and then these people have some sort of paranormal or supernatural experience.
Uh-huh.
But what I find intriguing about all this, people from the 40s, the 20s, the 50s, the 60s to present day.
Yeah.
Before we had the internet, they all talked about similar looking creatures.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's again with anything in the internet, isn't it? It's a story gets twisted and changed, and then you've got these aliens with 5 heads and stuff. Because there's the internet now, everyone can put what they want, and somebody will twist it some way, and it'll get changed, and the aliens will have 5 heads, or they'll look like the aliens from E.T. or from Aliens the film. I mean, obviously, no matter where you go, you're going to get somebody who's going to tell a story, and then the person he tells it to is going to tell it with something else added to it, because while they're talking about it, their imagination runs wild and something clicks, and they say that, and it goes on and on and on and on. Now, I don't know if there's little green men or the greys, some people have known as the greys, or if they're black triangles with triangle arms and triangle legs and triangle eyes. I don't know what they look like. And I don't know if any of this is fact, because obviously, like we said, this is about a conversation. What do you think? What do we think? And I mean, personally, I think that there is a high chance that there is alien life.
I don't think possibility or high chance. I think there is.
Definitely.
Definitely. Because I think this is what the human race does. The human race looks at something, can't understand it, they put it in a cage, they cut it up, they destroy it. Look at the Victorians with all the species that they destroyed, the different types of birds that they took and they cut up and they stuffed. Their ignorance was, well, this is the last one, let's not breed it, let's kill it, put it in a glass jar. That is pretty.
Yeah.
That's the human race, sadly it is.
Yeah.
And if there is aliens out there, I'd like you to contact me directly again. I keep saying this because I'm not here to tell you you should believe this, you shouldn't believe that. What your reality is, it's real to you. And what you've experienced, willingly or unwillingly, via aliens, UFOs, and bizarre experiences, it's real to you. And nobody, in my opinion, has the right to say it's not real. Now, I read some script a while ago about what an alien or how an alien would react within this environment. I want to share this.
Right.
If you imagine 3 aliens from one mothership came down to this planet.
Right.
One of the aliens crash landed in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
One of the aliens crash landed on the desert. And one of the aliens crash landed in the forests.
Right.
And they lived amongst their environments for, we'll say, a year.
Right.
After that year, they go back to the mothership and they report what they found. When each alien describes their environment's going to be totally different.
Right.
One will talk about the sand getting very hot and very cold on a night, one and very dry. One will talk about their location being wet, where there's sharks and things that can swim or in their mind fly. Then another one will talk about monkeys swinging from trees and the luscious green.
Yeah.
Although all their experiences are totally different to each other, they are unique.
Yeah.
We do not have that I've found on the internet. Everybody talks about the same looking thing.
Yeah.
That's what makes me think it's propaganda. That's what makes me think that, hang on a minute, if an alien came here in the 60s, 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, their technology would not be as good as an alien appearing to this day and age.
Yeah.
Unless they're time traveling. And why would they want to keep going back to the 40s, 50s and 60s when this human race didn't have the technology it's got? So what makes me think is that somebody somewhere is trying to piece this together as one story. We don't just have the human race that looks identical.
No.
So why do we have an alien race that keeps coming to this planet in America and this country all looking the same? Why aren't they looking different? Why don't we see ones with pale skins, smaller eyes, see ones with green skins, larger eyes? We don't.
No.
They have stereotypically put them in one box and said an alien is small, long fingers with suction pads on the fingers, big red round heads, big round eyes, normally black, and they scurry in the dark. Yeah. That, in my opinion, is rubbish.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the human race, we're all, one race. But obviously, like you said, there's different variations. You've got white people, you've got black people, and you've got...
But we have that variation because of the environments we live in. Not because one is superior than the other.
No, of course not. No.
I know, but we were addressing that.
Yeah.
It's the environments where some people will be more equipped to handle heat, where some people are more equipped to live in the snow environments and in the Arctic. But what I'm trying to say is, if we have aliens visiting, why are they all the bloody same?
Yeah, why do they look green or blue or... Yeah.
They all have a similar look. And if they lived in a place that was high pressurized, surely their skin, their bone structure, surely their density of the individual would be different to us.
Yeah, of course.
But when you see the photographs, they look similar. They have skin, they have bones, they have a digestive system. Why does an alien have appendix? It's not eating raw meat, or is it eating raw meat? Where's it getting the raw meat from? We know that what we claimed we have seen by visiting the moon, did that happen? Is that a conspiracy? Did it not happen? We'll never know. But they feed the information back to us. We've had a chap recently going off up into space. I know he travelled on the brink of space, but he was still there. And he described to us what he was experiencing, zero gravity. He talks about muscle wastage. He talks about his body adapting but not being as capable to deal with that environment as much as he would like it to. So if an alien was more denser, if an alien was smaller, if an alien still had the skin, and had the lungs or gills and was able to breathe oxygen, worries me, because all this is fabrication on what we know. It's not necessarily fact on what we want to know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've seen things where aliens are 9 foot and 3 heads, and again, it's the internet, but I get what you mean. I personally think that if aliens are visiting us, which I find highly unlikely, because if they're in space and they've got spacecrafts and they live on another planet, they've obviously got things more technology, which is a lot better than the ones we have. So while I do believe in aliens, I can't put my hand on my heart and say that working with our government, or I can't turn around and say, well, they're abducting people and probing them and stuff like that. I get what you mean by they all look the same, and in the reports, of course they do, because the first alien looked like this, so people have said this and have said that, and then you get the people who wildly go crazy and say they had 5 arms and what have you. And I mean, what you said is it's interesting. I mean, I'm actually going to look into that when we're finished, because how would an alien live on this planet? Because it's not used to our planet. Like,
it's not.
If we shot up into the atmosphere and we went to an alien planet, we'd have to wear a suit, or we'd have to, we would probably die because we're equipped to live on Earth.
It's not probably we would.
Well, no,
because they know that if we were to go into space, the decompression itself would crush us. It would destroy your particles. Your particles in your body would essentially, you can't destroy energy. It just gets spread about and it would just dissipate.
So
they know that, explode.
Exactly. So to me, why would an alien want to come to this planet to probe someone or to abduct them when they've got the technology to live on another planet and also come to this one and not be seen? Or if they've been seen, it's been discredited. And
now some people say the aliens don't come down to probe us. They don't even come down to impregnate us. They say they come down to harvest our sperm or our ovaries.
Right.
So they can take that sample away and set up little communities on their planet with little humans. Now, what I start to think about, are they growing us on another planet so we are their food?
Right.
So instead of coming down here to eat us, they're coming down here, picking our cherry as it was, and taking us, grown little humans, and then feasting on us in, where was it? The Zeta Zone. Now, I did say something on the internet about the Zeta Zone, that in this little planet, that's where these little green creatures live, and I started thinking, when they said Zeta, is the king and queen called Zet and Zat? And my mind just went away with it.
Well, that's the internet.
And I just thought, Or has the aliens looked at us as an experiment, thought, frankly, this is a broken experiment, let's harvest some more people, let's let this experiment fizzle out, they'll kill themselves eventually, let's go and find another planet and then restart this experiment again.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I like the idea.
I wouldn't say I like the idea, but
I don't like the idea we're going to fizzle out.
No.
But I do like the idea of aliens. I do like the idea of that there is other life forms out there that can come and intermingle.
Yeah.
Because not one person that I know of, and I know many people, and I've read the internet, they don't talk about an alien has killed me.
Yeah.
They've just talked about an alien has fiddled with me, or an alien has come for tea. Do you know what I mean? They don't seem to talk about this hostile or this evil community. So when the internet starts talking about alien invasion, they are coming for us, there is no signs of that.
No.
There is no evidence leaning that we are in a outer galactical sort of weaponry war.
Yeah.
None of that's happening.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest.
I like the idea that aliens are there. I can't prove aliens exist. I can't disprove aliens exist. There is a lot of strange facts out there, and I do like the idea that one day I'm going to be walking down the street and Queen Zeta from Zet is going to come and visit me, and we're going to have afternoon tea.
Right.
And again, as I open the doors to Her Majesty the Queen of this country and this planet, Her Majesty the Queen of Zeta, outer wherever you are, feel free to contact me. If you want to come and probe me, as long as we can record it for the show, anything goes.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm still stuck on the fact that aliens are coming from my sperm. I mean, is that like a hand job thing, or are they taking it out?
Well, if they want it, they're going to be charged for it. Because mine is like gold. It is precious.
Right. Well, yeah. But yeah. So I mean, I get.
And I don't want them extracting it with some sort of vacuum cleaner. I want it to be a rememberable thing. And I don't want to be hypnotised. If they want to come and give me a jolly, I want it to be a
You want to be
tea.
awake.
No, I want to go out for a meal first.
Oh, you want to be trapped.
Yeah, come on. Hey, I'm not going to be abused. I want to be taken for a meal. I want you to look direct into my eyes as you insert the probe. Me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, on that note,
we're going to say this show can't have a conclusion.
No.
If you want to interact with us, the links are at the bottom of the page. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Have you actually had an encounter with an alien of another world? And you can't treat that as your mother-in-law, mind, because we know mother-in-laws are a different type of breed of person. Have you seen an alien? Have you seen an unidentified aircraft? Have you been in touch with these extraterrestrials?